Thank God it's Friday, comes in a very positive context. This time around, you're watching Midcap Radar live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studios. I'm Hormuz Fatakia, with me is Vivek Iyer. Vivek, good afternoon. Well, we're carrying on from where we left off from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. There has absolutely been no break for the Bears, and the Bulls are making a very strong comeback.
Absolutely right. Good afternoon, Hormuz. 8% higher for the small caps, over 7% higher for the mid caps this week. So it's a very strong week that the Bulls have seen. We have quite a lot lined up on the show. Let's start off with the top headlines. Mid-cap stocks see broad-based buying after foreign investors turn net buyers in Thursday's session. Utilities, realty and industrials lead the charge. Metals and consumer durables lag.
Private equity major Bain picks up 18% stake in Manappuram via preferential allotment of shares and warrants in equal proportion for over 4,800 crores. An open offer for 26% equity will follow, giving Bain control of the gold financier, who is now trading at a record high.
Hindustan Construction Company gains after its JV bags a 2,400 crore rupee contract from Tata Power for a pump storage project in Maharashtra's Karjat area. Stock gains over 11%.
United Spirits is also trading with gains of around 2% after Citi has upgraded the stock to a buy with a price target of 1650. Brokerage says that the company's earnings growth is likely to remain resilient.
TBO Tech is under pressure after a large trade where over 6.5% equity changed hands via a block deal. Stock down nearly 4%.
A marginal 30 to 40 point cool off from the highs is where you can see on the index. Now back to 23,360 is where you are, but it's a very marginal cool off. Does not take away anything from the fact that it has been an absolutely stellar week for the Bulls. The best week that we have had in 2025, and the best week and the worst week of the year in just the first 3 months of the year. Just tells you what's in store for the rest of 2025. But 23,360 is where the index is, and as Vivek was mentioning, it's been an equally good week for the broader markets, if not better. The mid-cap index is up 7%. The small-cap index is up 8%. That too has seen a slight cool-off from the high, still holding on to gains of 1%. 500 points higher on the mid-cap index, 1.5% higher on the small caps. It's very difficult to find stocks in the red in a market like this. So I'm presuming Vamakshi on the wall is going to have most gainers on her list today as well. Vamakshi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Hormaz. Yes, it's Friday for you for the mid-cap indices as well, right? Some of the top contributors to the kind of gains that we're seeing in the mid-cap index include Tejas Networks. That stock as of now is surging almost 12% higher. We also have Jupiter Wagons up nearly 10.5%. Reddington is also seeing the biggest intraday gain since Jan 2022. Apart from that, Manappuram is one such counter on the back of that deal with Bain. That stock is seeing a surge of almost 8.5%. Keep in mind that this is the 7th straight day of gains for Manappuram. Apart from that, breweries are also in high spirits on this Friday. Tilaknagar Industries is surging by almost 5%. Global Spirits up nearly 4%. Associated Alcohols as well as United Spirits are also flying away in trade today. Apart from that, several mid-cap IT names are also a buzz in trade today. Tata Tech is up nearly 3.5%. We also have Emphasis in Focus, Sonata Software as well as Cyient are some other counters that are trading with good gains. On the flip side, let's look at some of the stocks that are declining in such a strong market. Shipping Corp is taking a knock. We're seeing profit booking after 3 strong sessions that the company saw. Amber Enterprises also is snapping a 4-day gaining streak. That stock is down 5.5%. We also have TBO Tech, 6.7% equity change hands. The stock is down and out in trade, and Nalco trading at the day's lowest point, down nearly 4%.
Thank you so much, Vamakshi, for joining us and giving us a good overview of what exactly is transpiring as far as the broader end of the markets are concerned. Well, it's now time to welcome Heymen Kapadia from DR Choksey FinServ for a technical check on the market. Good afternoon, Heymen. What a difference a couple of weeks have made. Last time around when you met us, you told us we may have to rename the show to Small Cap Radar, but the mid caps are now a buzz.
A very good afternoon, Vivek. Thank you for being on the show. So now it's time to rename the mid-cap show to a large-cap show. Frankly speaking, the VIX is below 13, Vivek. So that is a big positive. You have Reliance, 9 months of a decline, weekly reversal, upward bar reversal, positive divergence, crossover buying. Infosys oversold, TCS oversold, HUL oversold. AGC oversold, Adani Group oversold. I mean, there are a whole bunch of stocks which were deeply oversold. Metal was looking good. So everything has culminated in this bounce. thing is we're at 23,400, which is resistance. So maybe we could see a small cool off coming in around 23,400, but otherwise things are better. And yeah, I think they'll remain good at least till April, I suppose.
We're seeing that cool off taking place now, almost 70 points off the highs. Hemain, good afternoon. Thank you for joining in. So, are those small caps that have turned into mid caps or mid caps that have turned into large caps on your radar? What about stocks?
Yes, Hormuz, absolutely. But some of these are probably on the verge of mid-large. But yeah, firstly, a buy call on ABB, Hormuz, or an inverted head and shoulder. Stock is looking good. There has been volume. There are volume picking up. Oscillators have given a crossover buy. So ABB looks good at an entry of 5520. Stop loss of 5450. Target of 5760. A risk reward ratio 1:2. Secondly, a buy call on Godrej Properties. Rounding bottom, crossover buy, steeply oversold, positive divergences. Logic is almost similar. A bounce back is underway. So a buy on Godrej Properties at 2160, stop loss of 2100, target of 2280.
The bounce back is also underway, and a lot of these defense PSU names, Hemain, a lot of these names, Bharat Dynamics, Mazgaon Dock, 20-25% up this week itself. Is there anything that's propping up on your charts? Would you recommend booking profits considering the move that you've seen?
If you have a very short-term trading mindset, yes, you can always book profits. There's no harm in taking money home. But no, if you have a slightly positional play, no, I think this is some of these stocks almost have declined for 8 to 9 months. Even a PFC, okay, PFC is not defense, but like you mentioned, Cochin Shipyard, Mazgaon Dock. Now, Cochin Shipyard has become almost half. So some of these stocks, I think Cochin Shipyard is a buy. So coming back to your main question, no, I would say hold on. Yeah, you can always buy, sell, buy it again later. Mazgaon Dock hasn't even retraced as much as the rest of the market in terms of quantum. So Mazgaon Dock is stronger, but Cochin is a buy at current levels.
Thank you so much, Hemain. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show and hope to see you soon. Once again, you have a good weekend. But as we now slip into a short break, here's some good news for our viewers. India's business news leader is now just a click away. Introducing CNBC-TV18's all-new app. Get instant access to breaking news, in-depth articles, and financial world updates at your fingertips. Download the CNBC-TV18 app now from the Apple Store or Google Play Store, or just scan the QR code on your screen. Welcome back to Midcap Radar. Well, Aditya Birla Group Chairman Kumar Mangalam Birla has announced a 45,000 crore rupee investment plan for Hindalco's copper and aluminium business. Speaking at the launch of Hindalco's new brand identity, Birla added that the investment will be used towards delivering both upstream as well as high-precision engineered products to customers.
Birla Copper, for example, is setting up India's first e-waste recycling plant, extracting and recycling metals from discarded devices, and we are committing rupees 45,000 crores across the aluminium, copper and specialty alumina businesses to deliver both upstream as well as next-gen high-precision engineered products to our valued customers.
In fact, my colleague Madhya caught up with Satish Pai, the Managing Director of Hindalco, to discuss this new investment plan and a lot more. Listen in.
We have been known as a large upstream player providing aluminium and copper and being seen as a commodity player in the market. I think what it does for us is position us as a value-added engineering company that provides more high-tech, high-end products and solutions. So I think what this does is that it positions us in the market where our customers will come to us for new products, new solutions. It allows us to be an integrated company, so we will be upstream and downstream combined, so that Hindalco shareholder can play the commodity cycle much more smoothly, because large part of our EBITDA today, it's 60% coming from non-commodity prices linked revenue, and I think going forward this percentage will increase.
All right. So do you see aluminium prices rising due to the tariff talk that's happening?
So I don't know it's because of the tariffs, but it's certainly true that aluminium prices in the last couple of months have been quite high. I personally believe that next year the LME should be between 25 and 2600, even though you could have short-term fluctuations because of all these announcements that go on right now.
So on the tariff front, how do you think or how do you expect the tariffs to impact your business?
So I think that, I have been on record for saying that tariffs that are announced by the US are sort of neutral to mildly positive because we have a large business in the US.
All right. Also on the investment of 45,000 crore, could you give us some idea on how you're planning to deploy the investment and also how you're planning to raise this money?
So we have also been on record saying that we are going to now, in this next phase, expand our upstream capacity. So alumina refinery, a new one, aluminium smelter expansion, a copper smelter expansion, a copper recycling plant, and also downstream projects like aluminium foil for lithium-ion battery, fused alumina, the specialty alumina for the steel industry. So a combination of upstream and downstream. And Hindalco's balance sheet is extremely strong right now. We are net debt to EBITDA negative, and we generate a lot of cash. So our feeling is that we should be able to largely fund this capex from internal accruals.
Okay. And lastly, sir, what is your outlook for the fourth quarter?
I think that you will have to wait till the fourth quarter ends, and we will be making our analyst call sometime in May.
We take a short break here on this note. The Nifty is now down almost 80 points from the highs of the day at 23,320, but still holding on to gains of around 130 points. Take a short break. Back on the other side.
Welcome back to Midcap Radar. Well, the stock and story of the day is definitely Manappuram Finance, as Bain Capital is all set to buy 18% stake in the company via preferential issue of shares, as well as go ahead and acquire an additional 26% via open offer. Sudarshan is here with more details.
So it's been a week of several deal announcements, and one of them is Manappuram Finance and Bain Capital, and the deal is more than $1 billion, or say more than rupees 10,000 crore. So if we talk about the overall deal, Bain Capital is going to acquire up to 42%, nearly 42% stake for a deal value of more than rupees 10,000 crore. And this deal would happen in two parts. In the first part, Bain Capital will be acquiring up to 18% stake, and that would happen via issuance of equities and warrants at a price of rupees 236 per share. And post that, Bain Capital will bring in open offer to acquire up to 26% stake, and for this also price is the same, that is rupees 236. Now, after this open offer, what would be the shareholding? So currently promoters hold more than 35% stake. Once the deal is done, promoters' holding will come down from 35% to less than 29%, and Bain Capital's holding, if the open offer and the acquisition of 18% stake is completed, its stake will increase to nearly 42%, or say 41.7%. Apart from this deal, company has also made one announcement related to Asirvad Microfinance. If you remember, last year Asirvad Microfinance had filed DRHP for an IPO. Now company is saying that Asirvad Microfinance will withdraw that IPO. Now, because of this major deal announcements, which has been pending for a very long time, we had seen several reports over the months and weeks. Now with this deal is done, you are seeing a big move in the stock, and the share price has now moved higher than the deal price of 236 per share that company, both Manappuram and Bain Capital, had announced.
Indeed, and it's now at around about that price, slightly off the highs now is Manappuram. Of course, to keep reminding our viewers that the stock is in the F&O ban, so no new positions here, but still a very, very strong move on Manappuram at a record high in today's session. Ola Electric is the other one that's on the radar because of the discrepancies in sales and vehicle registrations. Parikshit is here with all the details and what the company has had to say. Parikshit.
Right. Ola Electric has been facing multiple questions from regulators and from government departments handling PLI and the PM E-Drive scheme and also the Motor Vehicles Regulation Act. Essentially, these queries have been around trade certificates and mismatch in sales data. A CNBC TV18 newsbreak has now been confirmed. Yesterday, we had reported how the Ministry of Heavy Industries is looking into the mismatch in data as to what Ola is reporting for February in terms of 25,000 vehicles sold versus 8,600 vehicles registered on the Vahan portal. So the Ministry of Heavy Industry is trying to understand why this discrepancy is there. The Ministry of Road Transport is also sending them queries. In fact, we learned from sources that a second letter has been sent to Ola Electric with more specific questions about why valid certificates are not available for all these showrooms that are there in the country. We are also learning that outlets in Maharashtra have been sealed. This is what the Maharashtra Transport Commissioner Vivek Bhimanvar told CNBC TV18, that 34 outlets of Ola Electric have been sealed pending investigation. They were found not to have valid trade certificates, and showrooms are facing inspections in several other states including Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, Karnataka, and 36 scooters have been seized in Maharashtra alone. In fact, sources are telling us that several of the 3,500 Ola Electric stores across the country do not have valid trade certificates. Now, this is something that the Ministry of Road Transport is also looking at. In terms of sales, Ola Electric sold 8,600 vehicles in February 2025. This was as per Vahan data, the vehicle registration data of the Ministry of Road Transport. In March so far, 11,781 vehicles have been registered. CNBC TV18 has sent a number of queries to Ola over the last few days as to how much of these March registrations are for Feb or for the backlog. There were no clear replies, but now in a stock exchange filing, the company has said that temporary backlog in February is due to negotiations with our registration vendors. 40% of the Feb backlog has been cleared, but clearly Ola Electric has a lot of replying to do. Several RTOs in the country have sent them notices. They will have to reply to that in order to get their showrooms unsealed, get their scooters back as well, and those replies will also have to be sent to central government departments such as the Ministry of Heavy Industries and the MORTH.
Thank you so much, Parikshit, for joining in and giving us an update on the entire Ola episode. The stock, however, today has seen a bit of a bounce back after the sell-off that it had seen over the last few weeks. But on that note, let's also listen in to Maharashtra's Transport Commissioner speaking exclusively to CNBC TV18 on the Ola Electric issue.
One complaint is received to Honorable Minister of Transport Maharashtra, which he has forwarded to me. And it is alleged that the Ola Electric is operating without a trade certificate. On the basis of that complaint, we inspected about 34 premises in Mumbai, and we found that these premises, they were some vehicles were kept there. There were the lithium batteries also, and the premises didn't have the trade certificate. The RTO, the respective RTO, they have issued the notice to them, and on getting the reply from them, we will take the further action. Around 36 scooters have been confiscated. I mean, they were impounded, not confiscated, they are impounded. And as when we'll get the response, the RTO will verify the response and will take the further action as per the law. See, as per the Central Motor Vehicle Act, if the place from where you are registering or you are selling the vehicle has to be registered with the RTO department, and they must obtain the trade certificate. We found that they didn't have the trade certificate for this premises, so the notice has been given to them. See, the registering authority has to take the action. The respective RTO, depending upon the response, they will take the action as per the law. So we have to just wait for them what action they will take, because I am yet to get any report from them, and the registering authority is the RTO. But right now, these premises has been seized and they are not operating on that premise.
All the developments there surrounding Ola Electric, but with that we call time on this edition of Midcap Radar. The market has taken a bit of a nosedive from the top, 100 points off the highs, but still holding on to gains. Some passive flows also lined up towards the last 30 minutes of the session, so we'll keep an eye out on that. From Vivek, me and the team that put this show together, thank you so much for watching. Your stocks on the other side.